I'm Bill. Today on The Garage Guy, we're going to learn how to make a hamster cage. No, I'm just kidding. This is actually the blower motor, and this is the thing that keeps you cool in the winter and warm in the summer. And we're going to replace one. So this is a 2002 Explorer, and there's a terrible sound coming from it. You can hear it right now. Now, when I first heard that sound, actually what happened was the lady basically emailed me a video from her phone in that sound, and I could tell right away what it was. And to me it sounds like it's the blower motor, because it's coming from inside the car. Now when you come into here, you can actually get closer to it, hear it even more. Now if you want to figure out for sure if that's the blower motor or not, all you have to do is shut it off. Oh look, the sound went away. So that to me says it's definitely the blower motor. Now to replace this thing, it's actually really simple. I was scared at first when I saw it, because the first thing I do when I look in a vehicle to see where the heater core is, and the fan's going to be pretty close to it as well, is what you need to do is just look for your heater lines. So there's only so many lines that are coming off of the radiator. So the big ones, those are for the motor, and then the small ones, they're going to be for the heater. So looking around in here, there's got to be some way for those tiny hoses to get inside, and the AC lines. And then I found them. They're like, oh no, they're all back here in the middle inside of the car. So if the heater core ever goes out on this thing, I'm gonna have to tear apart in the center of the dash to get to that. Luckily, that's not what I have to do. I just have to replace the motor. So let's see how to do that. I'm really pleased about this, because the blower motor is probably one of the easiest ones that I think I'm ever gonna see in my entire life. This thing is right up front, ready to go. Now in the manual, the Chilton manual, it says that there should be a kick panel in here. You know, well actually probably up here. This would be more the kick panel off to the side. But there's no panel in here. I don't know if it's missing or if there just never was one. So if you have a panel in here, you're going to have to obviously get it out of the way. First thing I'm going to do is unhook the wires right here. There's a clip, and it's kind of like separated, so I'm going to use a big screwdriver, get behind it so I can push both of these at the same time down, wiggle it, and it should hopefully, there it goes, start coming out. I don't want to pull too hard on these wires because I don't want them to break. There, okay, so that's off. Now the next thing I need to do is remove the screws around the outside of this. These are 8mm screws. So it looks like there is 1, 2. This one here is just holding the wire, but I'm probably going to have to take it off anyways to get the motor to drop out, because you can see the big circle. So 1, 2, what is it, just 3 screws holding that whole thing on. There's another screw back here around this thing that looks like a big giant pickle. This is the vacuum reservoir. And behind it, let me see if I can get some light back there so you can see it. There's a screw back here as well. So take that screw out, because that's what's going to be in the way of the motor. So get this screw out of the wire, then get the screw out from behind the reservoir, and then 1, 2, 3 screws that are holding the motor in. So now that's just being held in by that wire. What I do want to show you is what I'm doing. I love these things. This is a magnetic dish. You can get these at Harbor Freight. Sometimes you can even get coupons for them for free. But I like these things because it holds all your screws in there so you don't lose them. So when I'm doing jobs like this, I always want to have this guy out. So now, theoretically, now this guy should just drop straight out. So scoot this wire over. Bam! There you go. Removed. Okay, here I am with the blower motor out. Basically just the 3 screws, and make sure you get that vacuum reserve canister out of the way, and it's really just 3 bolts and it comes right out. Super simple, the easiest one I've ever had to change. So this is the replacement for it over here. They look a little bit different on the top. This is not an OEM replacement. I thought that it was, because I got this replacement from Rock Auto, and the one that I bought said that I could have swore it said OEM replacement, but it must be OEM equivalent and not a replacement. It looks a little bit different, or maybe it is an upgraded version of it, or just a different version of it. Because there are cheaper ones that you can get of this, of the whole assembly. I saw some online for as low as $25, $30 with shipping. Going and buying a replacement at O'Reilly's, it was like $85 for this same exact part, and it was a Murray part. I wanted to get. I didn't really care about Murray too much. It would have been fine to get Murray, but I went to Rock Auto. Didn't get the cheapest one, but I got what I think hopefully is a decent one. So this is the brand of it and the fun little model number. It was about $56 with the shipping all together. Comes with a new gasket, so just like this one has a gasket. Has the squirrel cage and everything. I already matched up the squirrel cage to make sure that they match. So now I'm just going to basically flip this thing over, and all I really have to do is just line up this new gasket. I'm not sure if the gasket is asymmetrical or not. Okay, for lining up the gasket, apparently it is asymmetrical, which means it's different on one side versus the other. So right now I actually have it installed on the wrong way. Just to show you, see, it looks like all the little screw holes, all three of them are lined up, which is perfect, but there's one little extra hole right here that there's a pin that comes through the box inside of the vehicle that has to go through. So right now, I mean, I could force it, put a little hole through the gasket there, and it'd probably be okay. But what I need to do is actually flip the gasket around, because I tried both these little notches and they did not line up. So I need to flip the gasket, and then spin it around so the notch, so there's two notches on here, so that notch, aha, so see, now this notch has a hole, the screws all have a hole, and that's the way that it goes on. So now let's go install this in the vehicle. Okay, so I got the wire loose, so I just kind of have to push that to the side a tiny bit. That wire out of the way. This wire a tiny bit back. The little hole, the little notch I was talking about is right there. And there it goes. It is all lined up and installed. Wow, that's amazing. I have never seen a blower motor this easy before. This is just great. I'm going to start a couple of these bolts in, and just to hold it in place so I can start using two hands. There we go. Just really finger tight because it's just plastic. I think that's the gasket that I'm feeling compressing, so you don't want to compress that too hard either. Just basically want it to be nice and snug in there. Okay, so I'm going to hook this thing up, test it out, see how quiet it is now.
Hi, this is Scott Flynn.
There it goes, nice and quiet. So next I just got to install, just put the one screw for this back in, and then I'm done. Oh, how is this in here? Oh, it's like this. So dusty part goes to the top. If you want to leave it dusty, that's okay. I won't tell anybody. Oh, this one I might have to use the socket. Oh, no, I can't really get in there with my hand too well. So I'm going to hold it. There it goes. There it goes, that's nice and tight. So the one thing I have left is the wire right here. And there we go, all done. Now like I said, this vehicle didn't have a kick panel up in here. Well, I guess not a kick panel, but it didn't have a cover going over the top of this I don't know if they're all like that or if this one's just missing it for some reason. But there it goes, it's all assembled and back together.